Info. You're on the sunny side. It's Open Throat Tuesday. It's a wet day out there. It's a little, I don't know, breezy.
Very
stormy.
breezy.
All right. So today, first hour, I want to talk about Lagos. By the way, can we admit that there is probably enough proof to say that the government listens to you? Well, how quickly they respond to you is probably subject to debate, but they sure do listen to you. Last week, we had a conversation around rents in Lagos, and this week, well, I think a few days after that, maybe even a day or two, actually, the government responded, speaking about tenancy rates being a flat rate of 10%, and but they also raise another issue, which is their intent to scrap annual rent and introduce monthly payments. So there has to be some advantage to this, except you think that it is disadvantageous, and I think that's exactly what Open Thoughts is about. We get to open up the telephone lines, and you get to speak on that on Nigeria Info. So it's not the sun that rises today.
It's the breeze that blows.
Maybe it's the
And the rain that
it's the
falls.
chill in the air. Okay, but yes, we don't change. We're 99.3. This is Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. Kemi showed up to work today.
Wow.
Hallelujah. Okay, so after that, we need to go into a trending conversation. It's more, it's not a conversation, it's just a trend. But I think we need to make a conversation out of this trend. I think, well, if you're new to the sunny side, that is, I think it's necessary to interrogate the psychology of this particular trend. You may have seen it, and if you haven't, our digital team is going to have on display a number of these videos. It's videos of mothers who are made to dress up like their daughters. And the revelation in that moment is very telling of something. Now, I don't know what that something is. If it's social conditioning, if it's culture, if it's a way, I don't know. So we need to talk about that. And by the way, I hope my digital team is on standby and ready. We're live streaming on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. My name's Joyce. And yes, we're ready for conversation. I guess there's something on WhatsApp that Kemi needs to take us through, because I think a number of you have been sending the messages, but this one, I'm not sure. It looks like a question to me. Can we go?
Okay, so it says, hey Joyce, when are you going to talk about the concept of a man being the head and leader in a home? I've heard you several times back in Cool FM and now Nigeria Info. That concept is a social construct. Joyce, my ears are itching anytime you say it. I'm asking because I also do not believe in it too. So when are you going to talk about it?
Well, first, I don't know that you want me to talk about it. You have only actually just indicated your interest. I don't know that it's a concern because it hasn't really been brought to my attention. I don't even know what you think about it. So I guess people need to tell me what they think about it so that if I need to speak on it, I need to know what I'm speaking on. Do you have a problem with it? Do you have a misunderstanding about it or a misinterpretation? Do you fear that there is an imposition of definition of what that should mean, or what it actually is, or what it does mean? Do you fear that patriarchy may have usurped that to its advantage? I don't know. So there are many aspects to this, at least in my thinking. So I'm not sure what you're conflicted by. So if you tell me what your concern is, I can speak to that. Otherwise, it's a little too broad a conversation, because there's the upside to the conversation, there's the downside, and downside I mean misinterpretation, and how the one who thinks might is right can exploit that. Like a lot of people, I mean, the violent person they don't come to you as violent people, because of course you automatically raise a violent reaction. So it is that a person can mask under the phrase to demand power. Was that straightforward? A person can mask under that phrase to demand that you acquiesce power. And religious doctrine, well, some religious doctrines could insist that that's exactly what you should do. You should assume the position of a victim and hand over power to somebody else. And they don't quite highlight the conditions under which, if power should be handed over, is it power that's being handed over? And is this a handing over, or is this a submission on both parties? Like, there are aspects to it. But what I can tell you is both tyranny, narcissism, the psychotic, the neurotic, the power hungry, the
Manipulative.
egotistical. You can see how they want to, they justify their ambition by demanding that you surrender. So if you want me to talk about it, you need to give me an angle just so that we're to the point and we can save time. All right, thank you. Okay, off on a break. It's Open Thought Tuesday. My name's Joyce. We're 99.3. This is Nigeria Info.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
If news is your quest, or gist your request,
Yeah!
well, somewhere over your rainbows
Over your rainbow!
is the Sunny Side
They better know it!
with Joyce.
Let's talk.
It's all right, honey. Oh, 99.3 Nigeria. Get me. Leave me alone. Okay. You want to do something before we start the show? Lagos, we're debating when the information should come to you.
It's coming
so
now.
Femi needs to go first. Oh, Femi or Kemi?
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Oh well, I can be about names because actually.
No,
they
you
said-
shouldn't. I don't even know what is with the Femi name. I need to purge myself.
Amen. Okay. All right, Lagos. I'm here to tell you that you, my dear, can win 25,000 naira this rainy afternoon. Okay. All you have to do is go to the website www.oneplay.ng or dial the code *347*880*3# and play with as little as 500 naira. And in a few seconds, your tickets will be in the draw. Remember that the more you play, the better your chances of winning every day. There's money to be won on the Money Crossfire. What's up, Lagos? Sunnyside game on shows, weekday, weekends, money everywhere. And every Friday, Lagos, there's a jackpot of 50,000 naira going to one lucky person on each of those shows. Okay, so if you know that you need money, then maybe take this advice. Okay, go now to the website www.1play.ng or just dial the code *347*880*3#. Now you can dial that code on your smartphone, you can dial it on your phone that doesn't have data or is not smart. Okay, either ways it works. All right, pick your station, Nigeria Info, play with as little as 500 naira, and you, my dear, can just have a chance to win some of that money. If you play during the week, you automatically just qualify for the weekly jackpot that happens on Friday. And yes, your chances of winning are the same. So whether you use the website or you use the code, either ways the money can still be yours. Okay, so you can play everywhere. You can never tell where this money is coming from. If you're under 18, please this is not your group chat. You can now exit. All right, then let's start playing so we can start winning. We'll do the draws in the next hour. The hour after that. That's the 2:00 hour. And yes, you can be the lucky one. Okay, I wish you good luck.
The race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but it's the only way to bet. Good. Now that means
That statement, my pastor said it to church on Sunday. He said, I know that the race is not to the swift or to the strong, but at least the person was racing, right? You were doing something, so they still have to pay.
Okay, so I think for me the motive is that you could lose, and
at least you were trying.
so you have to be found trying. Now, good luck with that. All right, let's get to what Lagos State has for Lagosians, and you may find this one particularly appealing, except you outrightly object to it. Now, out of Lagos, the government has announced plans to introduce monthly and quarterly rent payment options aiming to ease the financial burden on residents, particularly low-income earners struggling with large upfront rental payment. This is according to the State Commissioner for Housing, Akinderu Fatai, and this happened last Tuesday. He said that the initiative is a continuation of the state's commitment to making housing more affordable and accessible. I did quite tell you, I think, by the time we had this particular conversation, that we're in a housing deficit in Lagos. And I think by a rough estimation, we're looking at 3 million. Yeah, 3 million houses, exactly. Okay, but here's what he says, and I'm quoting him verbatim. Okay, he says, and I quote, he recalled that the government's earlier rent-to-own scheme allowed beneficiaries to make a 5% initial payment and spread the balance over 10 years. And according to him, quote, that initiative was well received. and its success encouraged us to explore new ways to reduce the pressure of yearly rent payment. He emphasized that yearly rent demands placed a heavy strain on many Lagosians. He believed, according to him, that monthly and quarterly payment options will give people more breathing space and reduce the stress associated with sourcing lump sums. According to him, furthermore, and finally, he says, and I quote, "The government is currently in talks with landlords, property developers, and other stakeholders to iron out potential challenges such as enforcement mechanisms and secure payment tracking." Okay, so now let's talk about this. This had been suggested, I think, sometime last year, because I may not have remembered speaking about it, but I remember reading about this in one of the dailies, and I'm not sure what your reaction is, and so we're gathered here today to find out together. On Open Thought Tuesday on Nigeria Info, let's talk. 0201-2770-993, 0201-465-7190, and 080-9597-5805. The latter number is our WhatsApp number. Yes, are you pleased with this particular development, except you suspect that this is not so pleasing as it may appear? What are your concerns about this new development which the Lagos State government is considering? So good to have you join the conversation. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sister.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Yes, hearing us. Since 2019, August, we said that we are going to be paying house rent monthly before 2020. Sister, are there regulators that will not collect abalabala, which is money, or the ones that want to show us the landlord that not cooperate in their own terms and conditions? That's number one. Number two, so is still also considering the building costs, material, because estimated back in Ontario is 10,000. A trip of laterals is 90,000 naira. So make it still consider those ones. Not to say somebody could suffer, you can't bring your own by force people. That we don't do normal. Finally, that we're going to discuss about our forefathers' relevance. Since 2 years, why ask me? You never discuss about. Thank you very much.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Welcome to the show. It's so good to have you join our conversation this afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon to you. Thank you so much for being here.
My name is Robert.
Welcome.
Joyce, the issue that how much payment is somehow good. That was what I started with when I also Joyce in one room apartment face my face you in this Lagos 25 years ago. Can you hear me, Joyce?
I'm listening.
I was paying monthly then. My rent was very small, so as soon as I got my salary then, I will just pay my landlord. I don't have the burden of after 1 year I will settle. But that thing has advantage and disadvantage. You understand? Like now, these are of course. If you are working, that yearly rent to me it is better in the sense that it will give you enough time to plan. So that at the end of before the year runs out, before your rent, so you can just pay your landlord. Before you pay again, it will be another year. Then you plan again. It's not only the house you are planning for, but if you are paying for monthly, every month you pay. What about if what you earn, or maybe you are not even a salary earner, you run some kind of your personal job and the money is not coming forth because of the situation of the economy. How do you pay the rent? These are the issue. So I would have preferred that yearly rent to pay. The only issue I have in that that tenancy something that those landlords that will collect off from 2 years, agent fee, agreement, and caution fee, all those on scrap, it will be better. Thank you very much, yes.
All right, sure. Thanks. Nigeria Info is Open Thought Tuesday. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, just good afternoon.
Afternoon. Thank you for calling.
This is Chris calling from Ikuri. Kwemi.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Joyce, thank you very much about this housing of a thing. The other time we talked about this, I told you about empty houses at Lekki. All the way to Ibeju. Flats, estates, empty, Joyce. When they say house deficit, people who need houses, the low-income earner, they are more than the type of building they are building, Joyce. When you build one room, 2-bedroom apartment, room and a parlor apartment, people will rent it. Nobody go and build a 4-bedroom flat, a 2-bedroom, a 5-room duplex. Come to Banana Island here, empty houses. Come to Ikoyi, 13-story building, empty. Go Lucky behind Chevron, estate to Joyce, empty. What do you call that? You are building houses that the masses cannot afford. Then you tell me deficit of whatever houses. Because this is a free money. They don't care. This is free money they get. Because they can't move the money out. So the next thing they go into housing. And people cannot rent it. Even if it's like, what do they call that? Shagamu Road also. Go and build one room and a park. Since you can't build for island for us. Like that thing they are sinking at the beach. Called the Atlantic. Do you know how much that thing costs? How many are there that will rent those houses? Compared to the masses, Nigeria over 200 billion.
I don't think that section of our property in the state is for the Nigerian public. I think it's for a select few.
Look at that.
Well,
unfortunately. They say before God, all man are what? Kemi, before God, all man are what?
Equal?
Good. So why are they doing that?
Well, this is not a
mainland.
Yeah, they're not ethic. These are not ethical people, and maybe it's not about ethics. Maybe it's about business.
Yeah, I think it's just business.
It's just business. Don't worry.
Okay, all I know.
Thank you so much.
That's another one, no? But thank you. Then for the rent of it, I pay twice a month, twice in a year. I mean,
what does that mean? Is this an agreement you have with your landlord?
It's just me. My landlord took when I move in there. Say, Chris, go and pay monthly. I said, no, Daddy, take this amount, so give me some space.
Okay.
But the man is late. But the children will continue the same way.
Oh.
I pay twice.
So
in
you
a year.
think the once in a month?
For the past 5 years, they never increased the rent. I'm telling you.
Let me ask you: you agree with 1 month payment?
That is what the man said, but I said no. I just want a space.
For Nigerians, do you think that's a good thing for Nigerians, or you prefer the 1 year upfront payment?
No. I don't know. For me, I speak for myself, Joyce.
All right, thank you so much for calling. I
don't agree for that one.
We're off on a break, Lagos.
More talk, more right after this. One of the biggest football fan festivals in Nigeria is back. It's Go Fest 2025. Come turn up the energy. Go Fest 2025 will also feature exhilarating games, food, and comedy. Come watch the UEFA Champions League finals on a super huge screen. Go Fest 2025 will take place on the 31st of May 2025 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Federal Palace Hotel, Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. Time 12 noon. Limited tickets available. Get your free tickets now at www.gofestnigeria.com. Go Fest 2025 is powered by Fenny and the Gang and Football Republic, sponsored by Squadron, proudly refreshed by Pepsi.
Everyone says I'm beautiful and bold. They say I'm fashionable, and to crown it up, very confident. And my secret is...
People say I'm good looking, funny, hardworking, and to crown it up, very confident. And my secret is...
So whether in the office or at home,
in the streets or on the dance floor,
anytime, any day, I never lose my confidence. And the secret to my confidence is Wazobia perfume.
Absolutely. Wazobia perfume gives the authenticity and long-lasting fragrance all day. That's my secret confidence.
Wazobia perfume is available in body spray.
Also available in supermarkets and markets near you. Wazobia perfume, the correct scent. Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know? Did you know? Your dose of facts we bet you never knew. Right here on Nigeria Info 99.3.
Allodosophobia is the fear of other people's opinions. It is a rare social phobia characterized by an irrational and overwhelming fear of what other people think.
Another piece of the puzzle now revealed. Keep questioning, keep listening. Only on Nigeria Info 99.3.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire, their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight, each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher, the battle returns and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Step right up. It's time for more.
Fan Battle 4 starts Tuesday, June 3rd through July from 7 p.m. weekdays on Nigeria Info.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Hey Lagos, I've got something fun for kids, parents, guardians, uncles, aunties, whoever you are. This is for you. The Kids FM Festival 2.0 is back. Get your families ready and let's have some fun with games, music, and so much more. If you missed the first one, don't miss the second edition of the Kids FM Festival, happening June 1st, 2025 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Lagos. Time 12 p.m. sharp. Don't miss the fun. Don't miss the vibes. Bring your friends, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, aunts and uncles, and let's turn up. It's the Kids FM Festival. Let's make memories that sparkle. Register now at www.kidsfm.ng. One more time, register at www.kidsfm.ng. Let the countdown begin. Sunday, June 1st at Balmoral Convention Center, 12 p.m. prompt. Kids FM Festival 2.0. Family fun. So come, let's play.
It all starts with you.
You need information. We need your views.
Most of all, your officer and your official, they are very, very forgotten in that system. Yeah, the deed has been done. As regards to the disaster, all the time we will come here and complain about insecurity. And this military are doing well today. We are not commending them.
You're part of Nigeria Info.
You're part of the conversation.
99.3.
Let's talk.
It's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, has approved the promotion of 18 senior FRSC officers to the rank of Assistant Corps Marshal. Akume says the promotions are aimed at strengthening leadership and advancing road safety efforts across the country. 3 of the officers are scheduled to retire as of the 19th of May, while 15 remain in active service. FRSC Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed congratulated the officers, saying the move reflects President Tinubu's commitment to road safety and will boost the Corps' capacity to reduce crashes nationwide. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Navy has announced plans to commission 3 new warships, 3 Augusta helicopters to enhance maritime security. Chief of Policy and Plans at Naval Headquarters Rear Admiral Ibrahim Dewu unveiled the plan as part of activities marking Navy Week, commemorating its founding on the 1st of June 1956. He said the new ships, NNS Sherry, Faro, and Ikogosi, will patrol coastal waters, while the helicopters will boost aerial surveillance. Correspondent Honora Nuobodo reports that the celebration includes public ship tours, medical outreach, and a ceremonial dinner. The Navy also highlighted recent multinational drills aimed at curbing piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. The Central Bank of Nigeria has reassured the public that the country's banking sector remains safe and sound. Acting Director of Corporate Communications Hakama Sidi Ali dismissed viral social media reports about a regulated institution, describing them as misleading. She said all banks continue to meet strict regulatory standards and that there is no threat to depositors' funds. The Apex Bank urges Nigerians to disregard unverified claims and rely on official sources for accurate financial information. Meanwhile, the Obedient Movement has dismissed rumors that Mr. Peter Obi has left the Labour Party or joined a political coalition. Director of Media Nana Kazore said Obi remains with the Labour Party and that any change would come directly from him. The group also denied reports that Obi was offered the position of running mate to Atiku Abubakar. Kazore called on Nigerians to ignore the speculation and reiterated that the movement remains focused on tackling bad governance and addressing national challenges. The UN's humanitarian chief, Tom Fletcher, says 14,000 babies in Gaza could die within 48 hours if urgent aid doesn't arrive. Although Israel has lifted an 11-week blockade, only 5 aid trucks entered the territory on Monday, and supplies are yet to reach those most in need. Overnight, Israeli airstrikes killed 38 Palestinians within 30 minutes as Western nations urged Israel to halt its offensive. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the war could end if Hamas surrenders and releases hostages. Currently, 58 hostages remain, with up to 23 believed to still be alive. And that's all from our newsroom for you at this time. Stick around. You are listening to The Sunny Side with Joyce on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Yvonne Ohaifel. Thank you for your time.
Lagos, are you looking for the right path to live, work, or study abroad without losing your funds to unscrupulous travel agencies? Or are you looking for funds to finance your overseas plans? If yes, don't miss out on this exclusive opportunity. Reserve your seat for the premium Jakpa seminar hosted by Uzo Ododoba of Wazobia FM. Don't miss out on the opportunity to gain valuable insights, access travel loans, learn proven strategies, get insider tip, network with industry leaders, one-on-one discussions with seasoned travel agents, and take the next steps towards your travel goals. Date, Saturday, 31st of May, 2025. Time, 12 noon prompt. Please do be punctual. Venue, ITF Building, 5th floor, Funsha Williams Avenue, Iponri, Costain, Lagos. Access fee, 20,000 Naira. Admit one person, please. For seat reservations and further inquiries, please contact us on 0802-383-1303 or 0802-377-0699. One more time, for seat reservation and further inquiries, please contact us on 0802-383-1303 or 0802-377-0699. Hurry! Secure your spot. Seats are filling up fast. This event is powered by Strong Voice Media and proudly supported by Wazobia FM, Cool FM, and Nigeria Info. Note, we know they give visa.
Lagos, I've got something fun for kids, parents, guardians, uncles, aunties, whoever you are. This is for you. The Kids FM Festival 2.0 is back. Get your families ready and let's have some fun with games, music, and so much more. If you missed the first one, don't miss the second edition of the Kids FM Festival, happening June 1st, 2025 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Lagos. Time, 12 p.m. sharp. Don't miss the fun. Don't miss the vibes. Bring your friends, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, aunts, and uncles, and let's turn up. It's the Kids FM Festival. Let's make memories that sparkle. Register now at www.kidsfm.ng. One more time, register at www.kidsfm.ng. Let the countdown countdown begin. Sunday, June 1st at Balmoral Convention Center, 12 p.m. prompt. Kids FM Festival 2.0. Family fun. So come, let's play.
For Tuesday, 99.3 Nigeria Info. If you have just tuned in, well, look at us here, gathered here, talking about rent in Lagos. But I also think to this conversation, we must add a very solid warning from the Lagos State government to agents in Lagos. And of course, I think this should also inform your reaction to how you should react if you are asked for more than 10%. Okay. Also, update from last week. I want to really even appreciate the Lagos State government, and we're hoping that we get to see the implementation of this. Not just, Lagos State speaking, but its implementation, because it does quite appear that some people are taking advantage of the lack of implementation of laws to exploit other Nigerians. So, and to be honest with you, how else can you say this? You see someone who is trying to manage their sensibility and their morality, work so hard, gather all that money from their savings, and then it's pretty much a situation where they have to just go give it to someone. Yeah, because the someone is banking on a system that will not defend the Lagosian or say the person resident in Lagos to uphold their rights. They think that the system is asleep, and if justice is asleep, you can imagine who gets away with madness, corruption, and evil. Okay, so here's, according to the Lagos State government, they have reaffirmed their commitment to implementing the monthly, quarterly, yearly rent payments. Now, that's our conversation, something I think I want you to agree with or disagree with. But the other aspect of this conversation that's also worth highlighting is that Lagos State government has cautioned once more against collection of tenancy agreements beyond the stipulated 10% and has asked residents of the state to report such abnormalities to the authorities. Just so you know, if you're being asked for more than 10%, report whoever that is. And I think it's very necessary that you know this and hear it, one, from not just the Lagos State government, but also on your radio. The Lagos State government says that we're calling on members of the public not to keep quiet, but to report such agents and landlords to the government, for the government cannot be everywhere every time. The government is saying that the government's stance against imposition of excessive tenancy agreement fees is something that they will not tolerate, reminding all stakeholders within the state that the stipulated maximum rate remains 10% of the annual rent. That's what you should pay. Now, if there's a situation where you're being required to pay more than 10%, the government is saying we have your back if you report to us. Okay, back to the conversation. 0201 2770993, 0201 465 7190, and 08095975805. And I want to hear your reaction to whether you agree with this development of monthly payments instead of yearly payments, the convenience or the lack of the convenience thereof, because this truly has to be something that the Lagos people themselves would have to agree to for it to function and work well. It can be based on individual preference, but hey, who knows what you're thinking at this point? It's Open Thought Tuesday on Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce. Good afternoon to you.
Joyce, good afternoon.
Welcome to Nigeria Info. You on the sunny side. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
This is Market Woman. Joyce, so this every month rent, I don't agree with them.
Oh.
But that 10%.
I may have lost you.
Hello?
Okay. Hopefully you make it back. Good. So interestingly, quite a number of people are not in agreement with the payment, monthly payment.
Yeah. So maybe
that's surprising.
Yeah, I think people tend to tilt towards like 6 months so that they have enough time to save. But I'm happy about the 20% now becoming 10, because that 20% agent fee was just something
so
else.
Now you've heard it from Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Open Thought Tuesday.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Welcome. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Olayinka.
Welcome.
I think to start with, once upon a time in Lagos, I think one administrator, Mobolaji Johnson, was able to control housing modules by saying if you want to stay in a particular area, let's say for instance, a block or 3-bedroom flat should go for this amount versus if you are staying in a Keja versus, so there's a module like that worked there. So what I would advise this present day government to do is to go back into that blueprint, because the problem is not actually in the duration of rent. If the tenant can afford to do a 5-year rent on a road, why not? It's not in the duration of rent. It's actually in the condition of rent.
Oh, I see.
For instance, because I'm an architect.
Okay.
Some people must have built their house in the 70s. And the cost of building the house per house is probably 2 million, for instance. And the same house is being built on the same street in recent time for probably 50 million. But the moment that landlord of 2 million gets to hear that the rent that house is going out for is X amount, he jacks up his own, regardless of the age of his building, regardless of the style of his building. So the problem lies in the condition of rent. So what the government, rather than trying to force people into what the government themselves cannot control, I would rather suggest that they should create a competitive edge. And to start with, they will go to the institutions that controls that market. For instance, the real estate institution.
Yeah.
For them to, from their own end, enforce the regulation of percentages. From their own hand, enforce the regulation of valuation. Because if you built your house in the 80s or 70s, you can't place the same premium like the person who just built yesterday. It's not rational. Are you getting my point?
I totally
it's
agree
not
with
rational.
that.
So the issue of percentage has to do with the institutions that manage that industry. Then, like for instance, in my institution, there's a government regulation to our fees, depending on the value of the project. So in the same manner, the real estate institution has theirs, but I doubt if it is being religiously followed. Because you will meet a real estate agent and he will tell you it belongs to the association, but he's not following the percentage rules. And you wonder why. All because God knows why. So for me, two issues. The government should start from the bodies that regulate the market.
Beautiful.
And secondly, the government should look into a model that is
that evaluates
rational.
Housing. Yeah,
yes,
I think housing evaluation.
Yes.
Perfect.
That is, exactly. That is rational.
Idea.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I think that's the way to go about it.
Really, I really do appreciate it. And this is also the benefit of having experts speak on a matter, because they afford you a vantage point that may not have naturally occurred to you. And you would have thought that this is something Lagos State would be, aware of, except maybe Lagos State themselves have their own point of view as to why they are not talking about the evaluation of properties, to pretty much manage and regulate renting in the state. This is, I really do appreciate that. Quite a fantastic point. Welcome to Open Thoughts Tuesday on Nigeria Info. Lagos State says now you can pretty much in no time pay monthly. Do you like the idea?
Joyce, sincerely speaking, there's something troubling here. You see this house of a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think the landlords that they're not aware of certain things that the agents are doing, Joyce. it comes to some places where the landlord is not making nothing, but the agents are making money more than the man that owns the house. Let me tell you, for example, my house in Lekki, where I rented a block of 4 flats, when a landlord is not living in that house, the agents make a mess of the whole thing. When I got there the other day, they have turned the place to hostel. My house, I made it very cheap per flat so that people, I don't want to subject people to difficult because of what people are doing. But I went there, a house of 1.5 million a year, 3-bedroom flat in a very good place. I found out that I've turned it into hostel. The agents are collecting 4-something million. And out of this, my 1.5 million, they're not even paying me. They say the tenants are, but it's a lie. They created it, they made it now, in the block of 4 flats, there are four tenants in a block of 3 flats. And they're collecting almost 1.5 from each.
Pardon me, let me understand what you are saying. Are you saying that the agents remodeled your house?
Yeah, with the tenants. They created, they partitioned it, they turned to a hostel. The funny thing that they're collecting huge amount of money and the landlord does not know. If you believe in an agent, if you don't go to your house, moreover, when this is normal, if you don't go to your house, Joyce, most of these problems are caused by agents, not the landlords. Okay. It's a very serious matter. I told Sheriff this thing one time.
Okay.
The landlords should be very careful. They should monitor their property. What the agents are doing is not good. And secondly, for Lagos State to control people, into real estate. Mm-hmm. When you are building a project, you see them collecting different kind of fees. Every day you will not rest. How do they think? What do they think that? So they don't want people to factor in all those monies they're paying by telling people what to pay and what not to pay. So it's not possible. They should come down, reduce this payment, excess taxes. Sometimes most of us are out of the business because the payment is too much. Cement is costly, iron. Then they will come to, they subject us to a several payment. Tomorrow, one person will come, mark X. When you pay, they clean it. Is that what it's not good now? They should make things easier for people so that things will be cheap too. Thank you very much.
All right. 99.3 Nigeria Info is Open Thought Tuesday. We're trying to look at what the Lagos State government is doing to benefit residents in the state. But as much as this sounds like a good idea, sounds like the problem faced by residents in the state goes deeper. So here we're trying to pick it apart and understand it well enough for the government to be capable of implementing policies that pretty much benefit the residents of the state. Nigeria Info.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Welcome. It's so good to have you join the conversation. What's your name?
Yeah, Marco from Freestack. Once again, we have seen evidence of a knee-jerk decision by the government.
You think so?
And it's same thing across Nigeria, even at the federal level. You say something before you now start working out the modalities, competing with developers, instead of having met and now come out. Now, I expect Lagos State to gather all the problems, meet with all the stakeholders, and see that, and look at the problems. Then bring experts. You heard what one of the callers said. It sounded, you could know that this guy has deep knowledge about this industry. So you gather people like that, and they will sit down and develop solutions to those problems that the agents are charging so much high. The developers are saying build roads, open up areas. We are ready to develop there, but people can't go there. We have the fund. The people can't go there because the roads are not opening up. That's a problem. Then the availability of the government, the last time Lagos State built a house was a Jaconde estate. Then what are you doing? Set up a building society, state-owned building society. Bring people, these are solutions. Then come out with a document, a document that we use to solve the problem.
It doesn't appear that you appreciate the Lagos State government and this whole idea of paying monthly. You don't think it's a really fantastic idea?
You are paying your workers monthly, and you expect them on a monthly basis. You give them money for shopping, for all these things. I expect them to pay weekly. Where would they get the money?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
It's only the artisans.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We're live streaming on YouTube, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Just look for Nigeria Info on YouTube. I would love your reaction to this because I would say, honestly, at least by my persuasion, that the Lagos State government is pretty much listening to us. We spoke about this last week, and this week we're repeating the conversation because, of course, we've gotten a reaction from the Lagos State government. But the residents of the state have other pressing issues. Let's hear you talk on Open Thought Tuesday on Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. Hello. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Joy.
Welcome. Tell me your name and then you can go ahead.
My name is Mr. Kotun.
Welcome. It's so good to have you on the show.
I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Okay.
You see, they are just playing to gallery.
Oh.
The right thing that they're supposed to do, they neglected it. In Lagos that we grew up with, that one they build alternative. Where is their own house that they built? Where is it? So they have to start from their own. So if I cannot afford this, I will go this. There's no credible alternatives available.
Yeah.
If you are building a house now, more than 20 agencies will come with different levies. So if somebody borrow money from banks, and at the end of the day, how is he going to pay back? I'm not supporting the excessive rent, but for them to now say 1 month, it cannot work. Let them stand on their ground and do the right thing first. Every other thing will follow.
So
let them do the right thing first.
Yeah, in your view, the right thing is for housing estates by the government. Is that your preferred solution?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Where is the housing estate that they build? If now in Lagos as of today, if you want to build house, okay, let's just assume that if you are building a duplex, okay, what you are going to pay to government is 500,000. You will know. You will factor it to everything that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But believe me, you Joy, if you say you want to build now, different agencies will be coming with different levies. Different levies. They will frustrate you. At the end of the day, somebody struggle to build. You that you will not build anything. Now say you should collect one rent, a weekly rent, half rent.
Monthly. Okay.
It cannot work.
No, I mean.
Have a nice day, man.
Thank you so much for calling. WhatsApp real quick.
Okay, this person says Lagos State should go and build their own low-cost houses and collect rent money.
Okay.
This person says, Joyce, the issue is not about monthly or annual payment or quarterly payment. The issue is high rent. I don't think monthly, quarterly payments will reduce the high rent. The yearly rent is better. All you do throughout the year is to save towards the payment of the annual rent. Lagos State government should work on reducing the high rent in Lagos. Thank you.
Okay.
This person says, good afternoon, Joyce. I don't agree with the 1 month payment because all fingers are not equal. The yearly rent is okay.
Okay, but remember that the according to the government, the reason they're considering this is pretty much taking the low-income earners into the housing equation. But hold your breath. We're off on a break. We'll be right back.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
One of the biggest football fan festivals in Nigeria is back. It's Go Fest 2025. Come turn up the energy. Go Fest 2025 will also feature exhilarating games, food, and comedy. Come watch the UEFA Champions League finals on a super huge screen. Go Fest 2025 will take place on the 31st of May 2025 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Federal Palace Hotel, Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. Time 12 noon. Limited tickets available. Get your free tickets now at www.gofestnigeria.com. Go Fest 2025 is powered by Fenny and the Gang and Football Republic, sponsored by Squadron, proudly refreshed by Pepsi.
Lagos, are you ready for an experience like no other? It's the maiden edition of Drinks Fest Lagos.
The Drinks Showcase.
Happening on the 30th and 31st of May 2025. Venue, Landmark Event Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. 2 days of epic flavors, endless fun, and immaculate vibes. Sample the best drinks, spirits, wines, and more. Premium drinks, beautiful people, and awesome performances featuring DJ Neptune, Alternate Sounds, DJ KYs, DJ Beast,
and other surprises.
Surprise Acts. Hosted by the energy god himself, D.O. to the T-U-N, alongside Melody, not M-I-A. Get your tickets at Tix Africa. Get ready to sip, savor, and celebrate. For sponsorship and more, contact 0708-955-5200. Drinks Fest Lagos. Drinks Fest Lagos. The Drinks Showcase, a without-a-box concept.
They say truth sets you free. But in a world where news spreads fast and popular narratives shape opinions, how do you separate truth from deception? Introducing Facts or Propaganda, the show that puts the biggest social, political, and media narratives under the microscope.
More than 60% of the population is below the age of 30. A lot of them heading into school. A lot of these young people are not employable.
Every week, we critically analyze narratives shaping our country, separating facts from clever manipulation. Who benefits from these narratives? What's real and what's just propaganda?
Unfortunately, paternity fraud is not a crime in Nigeria. Our laws are silent on this issue.
Join the conversation. Be part of the investigation. Tune in. Join Babatunde Abdusalam every Monday, 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And let's uncover the truth together. Fact or propaganda. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Don't just believe. Investigate. For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more.
Fan Battle 4 starts Tuesday, June 3rd through July from 7 p.m. weekdays on Nigeria Info.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Sunny side up.
The Sunny Side with Joyce.
I keep my sunny side up.
Hey Lagos, I've got something fun for kids, parents, guardians, uncles, aunties, whoever you are. This is for you. The Kids FM Festival 2.0 is back. Get your families ready and let's have some fun with games, music, and so much more. If you missed the first one, don't miss the second edition of the Kids FM Festival, happening June 1st, 2025 at the Balmoral Convention Center, Lagos. Time 12 p.m. sharp. Don't miss the fun. Don't miss the vibes. Bring your friends, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, aunts and uncles, and let's turn up. It's the Kids FM Festival. Let's make memories that sparkle. Register now at www.kidsfm.ng. One more time, register at www.kidsfm.ng. Let the countdown begin. Sunday, June 1st at Balmoral Convention Center, 12 p.m. prompt. Kids FM Festival 2.0. Family fun. So come, let's play.
If news is your quest, or gist your request, well, somewhere over your rainbows.
Over your rainbow!
Is the Sunny Side.
They better know it!
With Joyce.
Let's talk.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
struggle just dealing with Olodo people. Honestly, it's a struggle. Lagos, our next conversation is supposed to stir a fight both in the studio and outside. Except the most elegant, the most sophisticated opinions win. Good. Okay, 31 minutes past 1 p.m. on the clock. We're back to this conversation. We have a few more minutes dedicated to this chat, and we have to go to our next conversation on Nigeria Info. I have a WhatsApp caller. It's good to see your attempt communication with us. Hello, good afternoon to you. With us. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello. Good afternoon, Joyce.
Speak up for us. Go ahead. Tell us your name. Go ahead. Speak up for us. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so
My
name is Prince. I'd like to make my contribution to this discussion. There's a quote wrongly attributed to Harriet Tubman, who said, "I freed 1,000 slaves. I would have freed more if they knew they were slaves." Is it not funny that the same Nigerians that the Lagos state government is trying to fight for are the ones going against it? Nigerians receive salaries monthly. So it makes sense for them to pay their rent monthly. If you receive salary monthly and you are a first-time renter, for instance, and you just started your job, how are you expected to gather 12 months or 24 months of rent to pay up front?
Okay.
The fact that the government is saying the rent should be monthly does not mean that if you want to pay for 10 years, you cannot pay. But they're only making it easy for those who earn salaries monthly and they cannot save that much. If you decide to save your salary for 12 months, what if somewhere along the line something comes and you spend it? So at the end of 12 months, you will not have that 12 months of rent to give to your landlord. So the government is trying to make it easy. Here,
Yeah.
we pay rent monthly because we receive salaries monthly. And it's easy for you to do.
Yeah.
Instead of you to gather 2 years worth of rent to give to a landlord, why don't you pay 1 year of rent, use the remainder to get the land somewhere and keep it?
Sometimes I even think you may need like
who are not landlords.
No, but sometimes a person may even need like emergency cash.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you may need like emergency cash, and maybe just if you don't have to pay for 1 year, you can pay the months you want to and then use the balance of that money you have saved up for other pressing needs. So there could be some sensibility in that, actually.
Exactly. That's why you see that landlords will continue to build new houses, but tenants will not, because the landlord collects 2 years rent for 4 tenants, and then he gets a new land, and then after 2 years he collects another 2 years, and he starts to develop it. But you as a tenant, you would have lived in that house for 10 years, and you don't have a piece of land.
Thank you.
So if you have savings, use it, invest it in a piece of land, and be paying your rent monthly, and be saved maybe 10,000, throw it into that land. Before you know it, you have your own house. The government has seen this. They are trying to work for the poor people, but the same poor people, as long as the idea is coming from the government, it must be bad. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's why you are here, to bring balance, or at least to bring your opinion, and then those who debate the conversation can see both ends of the argument. That's really why this is
yeah, if they will, you've been doing this for donkey years. Has anybody changed their mindset?
Oh, dear God.
Thank you so much. That's our people for you.
I
All right.
appreciate.
Thank you.
The sunny side. So, of course, you may prefer yearly commitments or monthly commitments, but if the government is saying they're trying to work out a scheme where you, as a monthly earner, can pay your salary every month, do you suppose that that's a good idea? WhatsApp real quick. Let's go to WhatsApp. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Joyce. Interesting topic. For me, the debate is not monthly versus annual payments, but an overall reduction in the amount of rent paid. As of today, I pay 60% of my monthly salary on rent, service charge and estate dues, including cost of electricity and cost of transportation. It amounts to 90% of my salary. Thank you. This person says, your last caller goofed on his suggestion that the premium placed on a house built some years back should not command the same value as the house built today. That is a pure fallacy. Did your caller put money as a store of value? If you put 2,000 into your account 20 years ago, will the value still remain the same after 20 years ago? This is very wrong for anyone to propose or suggest that the amount charged for a house built 20 years ago should not command the same value with the house built today.
Okay, so I think that this is a sensible argument, because if you look at the value of money, then you can see where this gentleman is coming from.
Yeah.
But for market regulation, so I think it's not money as a store of value, but to regulate the market, because indeed the value of money when you put it in 30 years ago and the value of money when you put it in today, on that market scale, for regulation, for there to be a balance and fairness in that market, it makes sense what the architect says, that there should be a kind of regulation where the person who's building today is charging at today's value, and then the person who built 30 years ago or 20 years ago, or it's not, you're not making a loss. So that's the thing, you're not making a loss, but at least you are not charging today's rate given that you built 20 years ago. And it makes economic sense and also makes a moral sense, because you have to also create, like, think about it. Someone just sent us a message right now talking about that. It's not just it's not the 1 month payment. It's not the yearly payment. It's the general cost. He says he's spending 60% of his income on rent in a country where the statistics are suggesting that households are spending about 70 to 80% of their income on food. So if this gentleman found an older house, should he be paying 60% of his monthly income on rent, or should he be paying, because of the year the house was built, something lesser compared to, you understand? So I think that what the government is doing is laudable.
Houses now, even if they were built then, what the architect also pointed out was the condition of the house. You can see that some of them have like cracked walls, or some of them have very shaky equipment. You're like, these things are still there, but yet you are paying the same rate as someone who's living in a newly built.
That you bring that up,
that's so wrong.
All the videos we see, maybe not all of them, but like the videos we see on the internet are videos of residents in Lagos complaining about the state of the house when they pay for rent. In fact, the last 2 weeks we've seen videos of people who remodel, or kind of
you have to do it like a refurbishment.
Like you refurbish the house, then when they're parking out, they break the house. They say, "Well, this is not the state I met it in,
so let me carry my
I'm not going to get it back, so I'll just destroy it." So I think the architect makes a very, very sound judgment in his observation. But thank you. I guess you do too. So this is where the Lagos State has to come in and properly define the market. Otherwise, I guess it's anybody's call at this point. Nigeria Info is Open Thought Tuesday. If you can hear me, good afternoon to you. My name is Joyce. You're on the sunny side. Welcome.
How are you doing, Joyce?
Welcome. I'm good. Thank you. Tell us your name. You can go ahead.
Yeah, this is Remy from Akoka.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. Government, how many government houses do you see out there? How many houses have they built for the people? How many houses are they putting out there for people to come and rent? So it's about a willing buyer and a willing seller kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So all these ideas that a particular house is an older house, the value shouldn't reflect the present reality. It can't work that way. So long the condition of the house is okay. Whether it was built in the 10th century, it was built last year. So far the condition of the house is okay. The owner can tell you a room apartment self-contained is ₦500,000 if he wants. So you get. And someone who built something of that now can also tell you that is the value he wants to put on it. You can't decide whether it's old or new. The condition of the house matters, is what that should determine. One, whether I built my house when cement was sold for ₦2 or when it's being sold for ₦10,000 is not your business. If it's that easy, you should have had one when it was ₦1 now.
Yeah, so, but you are speaking to the fact that the person who's renting doesn't have a house. It says almost as though now you want to shame the person for not having a house. Do you not suppose that if there was a kind of market regulation, it would consider those who are pretty much not in that market? I mean, people wouldn't have to spend so much on rents, for example.
Does all registration charge the same amount for adverts? No.
Sorry, bring it back. What did you say?
Does all stations charge the same amount for adverts? Radio stations.
Okay.
Do you charge the same amount?
I don't know.
No.
Okay, so you suppose we charge differently, huh? Yeah, so
Differently based on what you guys put in. Your value as Nigerian isn't the same as, like I won't mention other stations.
Yeah.
Do you know what you guys put into your radio station for it to be global?
Okay.
Joyce. So someone will now tell you because the bit is just radio, tune into radio, and you should be charging the same amount as other stations. Doesn't make any sense.
But you have also defeated your own arguments because you say what we put in. It means that we're every day putting something in to make us what we are. We're not radio of the 1980s, because to be honest with you, if we were that kind of sophisticated of the 80s, we couldn't be charging today's rates. That's the truth.
Marvin, I said the condition of the house. I said that earlier on. The condition of the house will determine the value, whether it was old or it was built new. Is not the argument here. Okay. You know, I said that too.
Okay.
So the condition. So someone built house 20 years ago might have probably renovated it to the present.
Well, that was what we needed you to bring in, because the way it sounded earlier on was.
I said the condition of the house.
No. Because it's a loose. Because when you say condition, you remove time, and you must also understand that time is a factor in anything that perishes. Something that was built 30 years ago and something that was built properly today may not be comparable.
Properly, use the word properly.
May not be comparable. That's the active word.
More reason I said the condition now.
Thank you so much for calling. I get it now.
So it's a willing buyer and a willing seller kind of thing. Government can only regulate what they should build house too for people. If it's that easy, they should build house too. So let people go to the government house and rent it. If it is that easy to build house.
I mean, that's also a very good point, to be honest with you.
Now, it's a see, they've all failed in their duty. So they are trying to guilt trip. Sometimes you can argue that government have been too hard on what is it called, tenants. But is it easy to put money together and build house these days? Joyce, let's be real.
No, that's not what I'm. Of course, I'm not trivializing what it takes. I am saying that the one who is in the market to buy, his purchasing power should not be at the whim and caprices of anybody who thinks that they can call any price. Do you understand that? Otherwise, the innocent are exploited. The weak are exploited.
That will always happen as long as the...
Just that it happens doesn't mean it should happen.
Yes. See, Joyce, morality won't come to play here. Let's be real.
Excuse me. So I don't know whether you think... I don't know whether you think that anybody should be exploited. You seem to want to justify it. But then remember that you may be the one at the end of this tomorrow.
Right. Globally, people are exploited. It is not only here. And it will happen so long there is room for that. So what is the purchasing power?
So if we were going to build, if you were going to build something, which you have to build deliberately, you must. Are you saying that you must impose your arrogance? Because that's really what you're doing at this point.
No, you don't need to agree with me, Joyce.
I don't have to agree because there's no logicality in it. Because the whole essence of building something is to make sure that it is measured, that it is fair, that it's ethical, and that it's beneficial, and it's a fair playing ground. You seem to be eliminating all of that to impose what your will is.
Joyce, it's not about I'm trying to tell you the reality. See, you have to put...
I think we can end this conversation by saying the government should build it, because maybe that way government resources can better help determine the market. Other than that, there's really nothing that you're saying here that benefits the poor guy in the streets. Nothing, except you think that his poverty is his problem, and if he gets exploited, good luck to him.
You can't blame the exploiter for the government failure. That is what we're trying to do. The government should do their role, and so that's
really where the conversation should end. Thank you so much for calling.
Then you can...
The sunny side. Like, you would not believe the intents of... And maybe this is also... I mean, like, this caller is really the reason why the government needs to put checks and balances in place. Because if someone like this had a house built in the 1940s, he will slam on that building the cost of property at Ikoyi, and he will say, well, yeah, that's what it is in the market today, without properly evaluating whether that house commands that kind of money. This is really why we need the government. This,
I think that's
right
the issue
here.
There. The issue there
this
is, like,
right here.
does the
this
house
is it.
command that price?
Well, he kept insisting the condition. But the more you listen to him, the more you realize that I want to do whatever the heck I want. It's Open Thought Tuesday. Well, maybe this is exactly... Wow. Welcome to the show. Okay, I'll come to you in a moment.
Good afternoon.
It's Open Thought Tuesday on Nigeria Info.
The rent and the tenants
Oh,
and the
I
landlord.
thought today would be easier, a conversation to have. Good God.
But Joyce, let me tell you. I don't know whether they sold all the lands in Lagos.
It's been mortgaged,
But
right?
if they haven't, see what Jakonde did. Imagine where he built, after Lekki 1, where he went and did this estate.
Jakonde Estate.
And he was opening up places for people to move to.
Yeah. Oof.
Do you understand? How many has been done after him? And who were they given to? And were they first-time owners? If they don't mind, if the government is talking and they don't have land, see, they can go to Muwe, all those areas and buy. People will rent one room and parlor, even to their workers, because once the workers of Lagos or in Lagos get their, accommodation out, every rent will go down. Just let me ask you something. Somebody sent me something yesterday. When you're going to remodel, change your window, change paint. Do you know how you have to go to this LASSP something? And then you think it doesn't cost current fare or what money? They're going to charge you something, and then you now remodel, you now update your building, and the government will want to tell you, see, it's not easy. I'm a tenant, and I own somewhere people are paying me. But it depends on you. Okay, imagine somebody that built a headmaster that did something, somebody retired, and he hopes to get something from there for his retirement. Joyce, is he not going to buy mango? Is he not going to buy tomato? Is he not going to buy meat at prevailing rate? He's going to do those things. And if he maintains old tenement rate or, the charge, his house rent that he used to charge, how is he going to?
Nobody's saying don't make profit. I don't even want you to assume that there is any way in all of this conversation where there is a suggestion that old buildings should not make profit. That's not what this is about. From the perspective of the architect, he's saying that today's going rate should be considered against 30 years ago or 20 years ago. And this is really, I really think the reason we're struggling here is a lack of standard. There has been no standard. Even the Lagos state itself may also be taking advantage of this lack of standard, because this whole issue of when you want to refurbish, you go to the Lagos state to get approval, that they're also charging you today's rates. Because maybe if the government is taking Nigerians and their income into account, then maybe all of this will not be falling apart, because good God.
And Joyce, another thing, do you know Oluwole in Lagos Island?
Yeah.
They've built one and they're building one and they're selling their forms. Check out the amount. I don't need to tell you. Let your people go and ask if they want to buy a form. And these forms will be sold like, if they have 500 units, they will sell like 1 million. And whether you like it,
what do they sell there? Pardon me. Is it not that's the passport?
The form, application form.
For what?
Application form to get a shop to buy from government.
Oh.
Yes. They sold it when they remodeled the Tejo show. And the thing did not even pick up because most people could not even put anything in their shops.
Yeah.
And then the government is owning that one, selling the forms, and then over and above how many units, available units. And then people will still already rent a no-go area now in Lagos Island because already the government is setting a pace that others cannot follow. You see, when government gets their own accommodation, you know what that man said about remodeling his house into a hostel? Almost all the houses in Aja where their owners are now in Canada with the children, they've all turned to room and parlor, one room. That I know people that live there. All those duplexes. They are not, they've remodeled, they'll just put somewhere inside there where you'll be cooking. Small space.
Wow.
Yes, it's been going on for the past 5 years.
Okay.
So most of them that are not in the country, they don't even know what is happening to their duplex.
Yeah.
They've remodeled it. In fact, all they do already it's tenancy. And so they just give you that you do the joint kitchen thing, or they just give you some. Even the sitting rooms have been cut into two. With a cardboard, board.
Plywood or something.
Plywood, and people are living there. No, people live in First Park, but they want to go to work on the island.
We're going back to Face Me, I Face You now. Well, it seems as though we're going back to Face Me.
Uncomfortably so. Proudly so.
Wow.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon. Okay, so can we state here that the Lagos State government is also taking advantage. They're not practicing what they're preaching, and I think that they may not be aware. This may be like an oversight, but the very thing that they're trying to curtail, they are guilty of. Yeah, so I think at this point, Lagos State, you can call Nigeria Info to come speak on your stance. Peradventure, there are people who are posing as officials and putting the government in a bad light. But the very thing, that's what this conversation has revealed. The very thing that the government is accusing the people of, the government is guilty of. So except the government is foreign to this representation, the government will need to come forward and speak to its defense. Open Thought Tuesday, 99.3 Nigeria Info. To be honest with you, I expected that this conversation was going to be fluid, soft, easygoing. I thought people would call the show today and say, for the first time, the government has done something laudable. And good God, am I disappointed? WhatsApp.
Yeah. So this person says, if the government wants rent to be paid monthly or yearly, the 10% agency fee, a lot depends on them. They should invest heavily in high-rise residential houses in partnership with private real estate companies. They should collect land use charge and other real estate fees in minimal charges. Then a rent tribunal that gives judgment in no more than 3/16 and ensures endorsements. The Lagos State government should do so much more, as they don't expect me to charge monthly rent. Do I have the strength to go after a tenant who didn't pay last month and no hope of paying this month?
Oh, no, very good question. No, I'm serious. That's a very good question.
So this person says, the bill is being processed. If it will pass, it will cause a ripple effect in our finances. We will now realize how worthless the naira is. People will now start asking for a higher salary.
So is the supposition here, or the implication of this, suggesting that the rates per month would then make the value of your income worthless? I think that's what he's saying.
Yes.
It would plummet. It would cause your monthly income to just plummet. Okay, I guess there's psychology to all of this. Like, Lagos State, you need to hire me so I can do the whole psychological interpretations for you.
Okay. This person says the landlord and the agents collect different money. In my area where I live, it's a room and parlor self, and it's raining now and everywhere is leaking water. I did the toilet issues myself. That means that I will still be the one to fix the leakages myself now. And they collected caution, 70% agent fees and so on. Implementation of law by the government is the issue.
Yeah. Okay.
This person says, Joyce, whichever way, the tenants will still be victimized. Monthly rent is more expensive in reality, and the tenant can easily be evicted according to the tenancy law. Imagine being given 1 week to vacate as opposed to 6 months notice. For example, an apartment of 500k, for instance, will probably go for 50k to 60k instead of about 41k that is paid if it is paid yearly. This is good for landlords. I think I want the governor to consider a collaboration with the Ogun State and Oyo State for a solid train transportation. This will beat the scarcity down and rent can be stabilized.
Off on a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Nigeria Info's Open Thought Tuesday.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of fire. Grand Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more.
Fan Battle 4 starts Tuesday, June 3rd through July from 7 p.m. weekdays on Nigeria Info.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know? Did you know?
Did you know? Your dose of facts we bet you never knew. Right here on Nigeria Info 99.3.
Did you know the heart of a shrimp is located in its head? They also have an open circulatory system, which means they have no arteries and their organs float directly in blood.
Another piece of the puzzle now revealed. Keep questioning, keep listening. Only on Nigeria Info 99.3.
Exciting games, music, dance, and fun for every family.
Join us for the second edition of the Kids FM Festival, happening June 1st, 2025 at Balmoral Convention Center, Lagos, 12 p.m. sharp.
Don't miss the fun! Don't miss the vibe! Bring your brothers and sisters, your daddy and mommy, even your uncles and aunties.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.